Hey Google, is it normal to need Viagra in your early 30s? Oh, okay, apparently it's not. Well, that's really not good. Oh shit. Is this microphone on? Oh my god. Not again. Welcome everybody back to Not Rich Just Bored, episode number 74. Holy cow. This one's gonna be coming in late. It's Thursday. I'm recording this on June 1st. Hell yeah. And I'm gonna try to get it up tonight. I'm going on a big disc golf trip with some guys tomorrow, and we're going all weekend, so it's gonna be a good time. We're gonna hit up a bunch of courses I talked about last week. The only problem is I'm just gonna do a real short pod this week, like probably under half an hour, because I'm just like I have so much stuff to do. I missed league night too because I had to get my van ready, clean it out so it doesn't look like a pigsty for the guys. Thanks, kids, for that. And other than that, just kind of, get everything straightened out, get the oil changed for the van. It was due. I was putting new tires on because the old tires were half rotten. So shout out to my brother, amazing tire technician, got me some awesome Nokian all-weather tires, I guess they are. So they're a little bit better than, I'm not a tire expert, but I hear that all-weather is better than all season, and all season's like the cheap tire, and then you have your winter, your full winter, but then all weather is kind of like a cure-all. It's kind of it's like an all season but better. So it's more rated for winter, I guess, but it's also kind of all season. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Either way, should be a fun trip. But I have to get the pod in. I don't have a choice. So after I'm done recording this, I'm gonna be cutting it up, and then while it's exporting and uploading, I'm gonna probably do the dishes. Nobody wants to come back. Excuse me. Nobody wants to come back and have to do dishes and the fucking. You ever seen that when like you leave macaroni in the pot or something? A little bit of Kraft dinner cheese. You leave her in the pot. Doesn't look so good after the weekend. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You shout out to the bachelors out there. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Got a couple flies buzzing. It happens, but it's either way. I'm like, I gotta get some shit cleaned up and get my discs ready, get the cooler launched, get the alcohol, get the Gatorades. It's gonna be a blast of a trip, so I'm pretty excited about it. But other than that, the main thing I want to talk about with this podcast is that I screwed up, okay, and I'm a big fat liar. Emphasis on the fat. Okay, calm down, guys. Okay, no fat shaming, all right? I support the Labataquois community, okay? No body shaming, positivity, all that. We're good. But I was wrong, and I will explain why in a moment. But first, a message from our sponsors. I'm just kidding. We don't have no sponsors, except for when those guys come on to do their sponsorship ads, like Dan Aykroyd did in episode 2 or 3? Yeah, that was cool of him. But so we've lately, me and the guys, we picked up a new game. It's called Starship Troopers Extermination. And if you guys are fans on YouTube and you're watching all the YouTube uploads, you'll have seen that we did the Twitch stream of it. And if you guys caught it on Twitch, that's cool. But otherwise, you can catch the VOD on. Oh, excuse me, I'm just burping up a storm here. You can catch the VOD on Twitch or on YouTube. I uploaded it to both places. I like to have I created a stream archive just because I like to kind of have like a backlog. It's just kind of nice, when you're a what do you call it, partner or whatever. They switch the terminology every day on Twitch. It's like partner, pestilent, fuckface. It's something like that. But you get your VODs for free basically. But when you're not a Twitch partner, or whatever the hell they call it now, you don't get free VODs. you have VODs, but I think they only last a month and then they get deleted off the server. So, you know, you can watch them on Twitch for a little while right now, and then, but like if they're on YouTube, they're kind of there permanently, you know. So it's just a nice kind of backup, and you know, it helps fill in the gaps of uploads, you know, between the weekly podcast and then, you know, I did release that gaming video. A few people saw it, which is kind of cool. It was nice. I had that footage saved from the beta, which was quite a while ago, the beta of Diablo 4. And I just never uploaded it. I'm like, hey, excuse me. I planned to do a video on the world boss just because I thought that was the most interesting thing in the beta. And I'm like, oh fuck, Diablo 4 is like coming up pretty soon. Like June 6th, it's out. And right now, today, June 1st, I can technically play it because I have the deluxe edition. So the deluxe guys get it like 5 days early, but I'm literally not gonna have time to play it right now. I have so many other games I'm playing right now, which we'll get into that soon. But the other game that I was playing recently, I'll get back to what I was saying originally, and that was Starship Troopers Extermination. So it's in, I don't know, I guess you call it beta or alpha. I actually don't remember, but it's early access anyway. And you know, it's a multiplayer, it's a 16-player multiplayer survival game, essentially. Essentially, you gather resources. It's set in the Starship Troopers universe, and you basically collectively destroy bugs in squads of 4. So there's 16, you know, 4 squads of 4, basically. And you just annihilate the bug presence, and then there's a couple different game modes, and then there's going to be other game modes, and there's kind of a building system where you build the base, but you have to collect resources first, and then you have to collect resources to kind of activate the objective. It's a really interesting game, and I just wanted to have a quick blurb on it on here and just say that I really enjoy it. It's really fun. Everything's really basic right now. There's not a lot of weapons to play with, unfortunately. It's pretty limited for the early access right now, but for what they've got in the game, it's pretty good. The only real criticism I had of it was that there's not enough damage to the bugs. It's kind of like they just, you know, the ragdoll physics look nice. Don't get me wrong. The bugs they die and like they kind of fly around and they'll roll down hills and stuff. It's good. That's not a problem. But you know, just like if you watch the movies, in the movies they really tear those fucking bugs apart with those guns. There'll be like 3 guys on one bug and it'll just be like, you know, pieces flying off it. So uh, I've heard talks about the developer working on like player damage and like soldiers getting decapitated and torn apart like the movies. So maybe they're going to be working on stuff like that for the bugs. I really hope so, because that was kind of like what I was hoping for, was the real authentic Starship Troopers experience. And I will say, other than, you know, that, it really does feel like Starship Troopers in a certain sense. And the unexpected but really positive thing that I like about it personally is that there's almost a role-playing element to it. Like there's almost it's like a big RP server almost. It depends on what game you get into, honestly, but like most games, like guys are into it and they'll be like they're like doing like Alpha Bravo stuff like that, and you know, they'll be saying lines from the movie like I'm doing my part, and it's actually really cool. I really like the role-playing aspect of that. I think that's fucking badass, and I get into it too, and you could see some of it in the stream I did, that I'm just like kind of like, you know, Bravo, head to the Bravo objective. Hellfire, we'll meet you there. And I don't know. I like role playing. I think it's really fun. Even in like some old World of Warcraft servers, I role played, and there was DayZ servers that I role played in. It's just fun, because I think role playing is fun in general. Just like taking on the form of another character. I mean, I've always thought I should have been an actor because I love playing characters. It's one of my funnest things. So, like, drama in high school was my shit. I love that. So, I feel like I really should have pursued that, to be honest. Maybe I still will. Maybe I'll be in a movie in the future. You never know. There's a lot of indie movies out there. They need actors. And I'm going to be the guy in Sharknado 4. Just saying. But either way, if you have some friends and you have a PC and about $30, pick it up. It's worth it. You'll have some fun with your friends. If you like first person shooters and you like team based games, you'll love Starship Troopers. And it's only going to get better once it's out of early access. So yeah, it's a yes from me. But what about you, Simon? Then oh my god, seriously, I'm sorry, but that just reminded me of a meme I saw earlier today, and it was like the meme was like, person on stage says, for the first 2 years for the first 2 years of my life I couldn't walk. And it's like every talent show judge ever, and it's a bunch of people like crying. Still got a little bit of that cough, sorry. But that just made me laugh so hard because I'm like, it's so fucking true. Like every goddamn season of that show, there's always like, I'm blind, deaf, dumb. Like basically Helen Keller goes on the show. And it's like, against all odds, I'm here. And they're like, all right, Drake June, let's see what you can do. And then they're also like, can I lay by your side next to you? Yeah, I'm gonna go on the just so you guys know, I'm gonna be on the next season of The Voice. No big deal. But, my point is, yeah, they have like an amazing voice, and it's just like, oh my god, guess what? Chamomile tea, is that your name? You've got my golden buzzer. It's like, ah! That was an awful noise. I apologize. But yeah, my phone's going off right now. It's probably the disc golf crew being like, hey, what are we doing tomorrow? I don't care, guys. The podcast comes first, all right? I got fans that are counting on me. This video is going to hit 1 million views. You watch. By the year 2030, this video is going to have 1 million views on it. You know why? Because we're going to pop off, all right? We're going to pop off like a school shit, and maybe not like that. Okay, we're gonna pop off like a pop top with a crop top with double K breasts. I'm too tired to do this shit, guys. I'll be honest. I'm fucked up right now. I'm just like, it's just been one of those days where I've been tired. You know, where you literally get up and you're tired. You're already tired. It's like I just woke up from resting and I'm already tired. Like it just fuck. And it's just it's like plus 28 right now Celsius, and it's just scorching, and I can't fucking sleep when it's hot. And then when I sleep, you wake up and you're in like that little pool of sweat. It's like, oh god. I need to get like one of those stand-up fans, and I just never get one. I always forget. I always see it in the store. I'm like, fuck, that's what I need. That's the exact one. Because my bed's high. When I used to have I used to have like a small fan that was really nice, but it was when my bed was on the ground. But now it's like my bed's all high up and shit. So I need like an actual fan. And I think that would help me sleep too, because I'm one of those people. You guys let me know. Like, are you pro fan or pro no fan? Like me, when I'm sleeping, I need something. When it's bedtime, I need something. Whether it's a fan, a YouTube video, anything. I need something to I don't like dead silence. Like, unless I'm really, really exhausted. If I'm really, really, truly exhausted and I'm just like, I'm just nodding off, yeah, okay, that's fine. But unless I'm dead fucking tired, I need something. I need some sort of a distraction, like some sort of a, what they call a white noise, brown nose, brown nose. Fuck's sake. Wake up, Garner, wake up. But like, it's like anything. I just need some sort of a distraction to, it just, I don't know what it is. It just keeps a person's, it makes your mind like free or something. It gives you something to concentrate on, but not concentrate on. It's really weird. But then there's some people that like, they insist, like how my dad always was. My dad he needed complete silence. That's what, blackness and silence. That was his thing. But me, it's like I always liked like an air conditioner going, a fan, something like that. And now that I'm, older and we're in the cell phone era, it's usually YouTube videos. I turn the brightness right down to 0 on my phone because, you don't want to fuck your eyes up. And just maybe I'll watch it like 15 minutes of a YouTube video and then I'll kind of turn over and let it play. I'll put a sleep timer on my phone so it, powers off so it doesn't stay on the screen all night and break the battery. But it's like some of the ones I like, it's kind of weird, but there's an old like RTS game, Caesar 3. I love that game. It's awesome, by the way. But I like watching, there's a guy called Gamer Zach, and he does like a bunch of Caesar 3 videos. And I don't know what it is. I love his videos. Gamer Zach, please, if you'd like to, come on the show. I'd love to have you on because you're awesome, and I love your content. It's just like chill. Same with, there's another speedrunner that I also like to watch, and it's Cosmic. He's an original Super Mario Bros. Speedrunner. I also like to fall asleep to his content, and this is not meant as an insult to him, honestly, but his videos, in a certain sense, are so basic in a way, and I don't mean, again, it sounds like an insult, but I don't mean it in an assaulting way. I mean it in like a chill way, because there's so many people, they do like what they call zoomer editing, where they're going and they're zooming in and out and then zooming in on their face and go it's all this crazy editing, and like it's chaos is what it is. But it's to keep the kids, because kids have such short fucking attention spans. It keeps them invested in the content, But like Cosmic, he doesn't like he doesn't do that. It's pretty much just edited clips of his live streams or like world record runs or something. And he just, they're cut up and he just plays them. There's no like crazy editing. It's just all very calm and simple. And it's just nice. I like watching his videos normally, but just when I'm falling asleep, he has a really calm voice, and just like, it's not constant screaming or something like that, like me. It's just like a chill ASMR style voice, And like there's a lot of those guys, like the Mexican Runner, Cosmic, Mitch Flower Power. Um, it's just like nice chill content to fall asleep with. And Gamer Zach. But I digress. My point is, I need some sort of a something. It's just nice to have. And fans are really nice too, because they also cool you down, so you're more comfortable. But okay, the moment you guys were waiting for and asked for, you've been begging for this since the start. You want to know what I was a liar about, right? You want to know, okay, what were you lying about, son of a bitch? And here's the thing, because 2 episodes ago, I released an episode called Tears of the Fans, where I basically insulted Tears of the Kingdom before it even came out. I kind of went in with a negative attitude because I really didn't like Breath of the Wild that much. And, I stated a bunch of reasons and blah, blah, blah. And the next one, I had started Tears of the Kingdom, and I was still kind of insulting it, and, it just wasn't good. And I'm here to say that I was a fucking liar. I have completely changed my mind on the game. But let me explain. I will say, in my defense, the tutorial area is very boring. It is basically a carbon copy of the Breath of the Wild tutorial area. Like the Great Plateau is what it was in the original. It's literally a cookie cutter. It's the same fucking area. You you do 3 shrines. One of them's in the snow. It's the same shit, right? Or 4 shrines, I think. Yeah. And, there's the minor building stuff, which was cool, but kind of unimpressive, whatever. But once you get into the actual game, into the overworld, and you can kind of go wherever you like, the game gets a lot better. First of all, let me just say, what was one of my major criticisms of Breath of the Wild? Now, I love the exploration of Breath of the Wild. I thought that was genius. How you could kind of explore everywhere. There was lots of shit to explore and do, but it seemed like the world was kind of empty, right? In a slight sense. In this game, it's not the case. It seems like there's shit everywhere. They've really added a lot of character to the world. Fuck's sake. They've really added a lot of like depth. Now, as I said before, there's the Cloud Islands, which, they're pretty big. I haven't explored them all, obviously, but I'm about 10 hours in, I'd say. And then there's Hyrule, which is huge. And then now there's the underground section, which is just as big as Hyrule. And I will say, like, the underground section is really cool. Holy fuck, why do I have to cough all of a sudden? I didn't cough all day. Time to record the podcast. Here comes the cough train. Sorry, I'm angry. But I will say, the underground section is genuinely scary. And it's a challenge area. Now, again, I'm going to say this right now. Spoiler alert, obviously. I'm not going to get into any crazy spoilers because I haven't really gotten that far in the game. But there might be some things that I talk about here that will be considered like a spoiler. So, spoiler alert right now for Tears of the Kingdom. From now till pretty much the end of this pod. Yeah, in the underworld, you fight like the same guys as the surface, but they're corrupted. They have the gloom or whatever. I think it's the red stuff. It's called gloom. So when you're in the underground fighting, first of all, it's pitch black. So you have to use those bright bloom seeds to even see, or use the light route in a certain area to, light up the area. And then, but any of the enemies you fight, they're all corrupted by the gloom. So when they attack you, you don't just lose hearts. Like, you lose hearts. You can't use the hearts. It actually breaks your heart containers, so you can't regenerate them. So it's extra dangerous down there, which I really like. You got to really be careful down there and really plan your movements. And the only way to replenish your hearts, to actually make them whole again so you can, eat food and fill them up, is to return to the surface of Hyrule. So there's an extra danger to the underground area. But again, the building stuff was very basic at the beginning. And in the game, the building, once you get into the main game, it's a lot more cool. There's a lot more shit you can do, and it's a lot easier. And a lot of the building stuff is a lot easier than I initially thought. And one of my biggest problems with the building too was that I hated the idea, because I saw all these people making all this intricate stuff, right? And they make all this intricate, crazy stuff. But then I'm like, well, that's stupid though, because the moment you enter a dungeon or somewhere else, it's gonna despawn, right? Or if you leave it somewhere too long, go too far away from it, it's gonna despawn. So if you wanted it back, you'd have to rebuild it painstakingly. But again, this is a spoiler, but it's not a story spoiler. There's a certain area in the underground area, that's all I'll say, and there's a device you can interact with, and you get a new ability for Link. And this ability is called Auto Assemble. And it is the answer to all my problems that I had with the whole things that you build despawning. It is a system where you can auto build items that you've already built since you got that ability. And anything you built, you can save to your favorites. So if you build this really cool car with like rockets and fans or whatever and a control stick, and you really like your design, it'll, first of all, when you build it, it'll be in your history. So it'll be there no matter what. But also, if you really like that and you feel like you'll build that more or another time, you save it to your favorites. Then you can just literally auto build it. It'll cost you Zonite to build it, or parts. If you have the parts, it'll use the part. But any part that you don't have currently, it'll require a charge of Zonite. You'll have to, which is a material that you get mostly in the underground area. But you'll learn about that in the game either way. But I will say, I'm just very happy that they added a lot to the overworld. And there's side quests everywhere. There's lots of shit to do. It's it's honestly impressive. And it basically takes all the shortcomings that I like all the problems that I had with the original like Breath of the Wild, and it kind of fixed them. And it honestly feels like the stakes are bigger in this one. And the one thing I didn't expect to be so fun is the weapon combinations. Just there's so many things you can do with weapons. Like like monster items, like Boko goblins, like their horns and stuff. Like if you have a soldier's claymore, let's say, you attach a Boko goblin horn to it, it gets a few extra hit points and more durability. Like it's cool. Like it's not just basic things. There's so many stuff. Like I'll just rattle off a few that I've seen on my like that I've done personally. Like there's the mine cart. There's a mine cart, and you can attach the mine cart to your shield. And then you know how you could shield surf like in Breath. You can shield surf with your shield that's a mine cart, and you can actually take it on minecart rails and just surf down minecart rails. It's fucking sick. And like just there's so many, like you just literally have to experiment. There is an ungodly amount of combinations. And like sorry, it doesn't just end at like weapons even. It's like gadgets. So like the zonite gadgets, like there's a zonite flamethrower or a zonite, a spring. You can attach those to your shield as well. So when you go up to an enemy, if you're blocking with your shield and you have the flame device on it, it'll shoot flames at them. And one that I really love doing because it fucking makes me laugh so hard is if you attach the spring. If you attach the spring to your shield, when one of the enemies attacks you, they activate the spring and it just shoots them. It sends them flying. It's fucking hilarious. I love it. So basically, guys, what I'm saying is that I I was wrong about Tears of the Kingdom. I mean, the thing is I went into it with a kind of a negative attitude, and one of the biggest problems I think of the original two was that I did play them in handheld mode a lot because I was in hotels and stuff and I was traveling at the time. So that does I will say it's not a game that you can play in handheld mode very well, like neither of them. But I still stand by my criticisms of Breath because I just don't it's just not that good to me. I didn't like the abilities. They're a little bit too confusing. In Tears of the Kingdom, the abilities that you have are a little bit more straightforward. They're more complex in a certain sense, but they're also like more straightforward. And also I like how you get most of your abilities right off the hop, and they kind of like make sure you know how to use them before you even leave the tutorial area. And then they've also made some platforming easier with that ability where you could shoot through roofs and then just kind of melt through the roof. It's a cool ability, so it's I don't know. Like I said, I am sorry for being so critical of it. I will say I was wrong, but honestly, the tutorial was a rough part for me. I just didn't think, and like a tutorial in a game is like normally like if a tutorial goes on for an hour, it's getting kind of crazy. The tutorial area in Breath of the Wild was like 5 hours, 4 hours. I mean, it really depends on how fast you go. You can just rip through it. But me, I like to kind of check for Koroks and check for, what have you, and who's or what's it's and all that kind of jazz. But, it's one of those things where it was a very long tutorial area. And it just felt like I did that exact same tutorial in the first game. So I don't know. It was just not as fun, but with this one, like I said, the creativity really makes it fun and really makes it shine. And also, before I end here, there's one funny story I have to say. There's a side quest. Spoiler alert, guys. Sorry. There's a side quest where a guy wants you to get a skeletal horse, and they appear in this graveyard at nighttime. And I'm like, okay, I want to do this. It's cool. It'd be like a Stalfo horse. And I'm like, oh man, this will be like my cool, unique horse. And then, so I did the quest. I showed the guy the skeleton horse that I tamed, and he's like, oh, that's cool. And then, like, I went to register it at the stable, and the stable guy's like, sorry. He's like, what the hell is that thing? Why are its eyes red? He's like, sorry, sir. We stable horses here, not nightmares. And I'm like, oh, fuck. So I'm a little bummed you can't use the Stalfo horse, the skeletal horse. You can't register it, keep it as your own. That sucks. But well, maybe there's another skeletal horse that you can. I don't know. You probably gotta buy an amiibo or something. But yeah, I was really sad too because I rode that horse all night and I kept going, and all of a sudden randomly it bucked me off. I'm like, oh, was I not petting it enough or something? And then all of a sudden it just falls over and dies. I'm like, no! I'm like, Boney! I named him Boney, by the way. We were traveling all night. It was cool. He was cute. But yeah, he just died because he's like he's like a Stalfo, like, because Stalfos only come out at night. So he just kind of bursts into flames. He's like, I'm sorry, it's my time to go. I'm like, no, Tony. But either way, I gotta end it here, guys. It's a short one. It's 9 o'clock at night already, and I gotta get this thing up, gotta get it cut up, and then gotta get the thumbnail ready, and you know how it goes, guys. But I'm glad I got to talk about something, get something out, and again, we'll see you guys next week. Don't worry. The show must go on. That's Queen. That's a Queen song, brother. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, links to all social media are in the description below. Follow them all, or I'll kill you. No, I'm just kidding. I love you. All right. I'll see you guys next week. Peace out.